What's up guys, Spin Firearms here, and man do I have a goodie for you. We're going to be reviewing the Walther P99 Anti-Stress Final Edition. We're actually outside right now on my grandpa's beautiful property in Michigan. I am actually from Michigan originally, but I do not live there anymore. So rest in peace to my grandpa. It's going to be awesome. And shout out to my buddy Heg for letting me review this, as that's huge. My channel is very expensive to run, as I'm not in bed with any of these firearm companies or manufacturers, and I don't have to talk them up because I'm not receiving money from them. I'm not in a contract with them, so I can tell you exactly how I feel about all handguns, which is absolutely a very freeing thing, but it's also very expensive. So shout out to my buddy Hag once again for letting me borrow a handgun for review, especially this one because I love it. And another thing I want to say is DA targets. This is a company that said they wanted to send me some targets. Now, I don't do a whole lot of shooting reviews. I have 3 kids. I work a full-time job, a lot of hours, stuff like that to support my family. But I do have them up on the channel if you look. So it's great to get away, go on a trip, and do shooting reviews. So stay tuned all week. I'm going to be doing live shooting reviews out of the new Shield Carry Comp. We're going to be doing the Hellcat that I have, Glock 26s with certain triggers, all sorts of stuff. But shout out to DA Targets. This is just one of the targets they sent me. They asked, hey, do you want to try some? I'm not getting money from them. They just said, hey, do you want to try the products? And I said, yes. So I will let you know. They're actually pretty cool. They're color changing and self-healing. So basically when you shoot, you can see where you shot, but then it heals itself so you can continue to use the target over and over and over again. And you do not have to worry about any ricochet of any kind, which is actually really nice. And one thing I want to say is I'm getting eaten alive out here right now, so you got to admire and respect the dedication to the channel that I have. It's really expensive running this channel, like I said, so it really helps when I get stuff like this. Now, let's get into it. This is the Walther P99 Anti-Stress. I'm going to let you guys just see it up close and personal before I get into the full review. It looks like a Walther, feels like a Walther, definitely 100% shoots like a Walther. Now, I do not have the case that it came with. My buddy Heg said that this comes with one of the coolest cases you will ever see, which is really interesting, but I do not have that with me. Maybe we'll touch on that in another video. This is their final edition, basically saying this is the last time we're going to be releasing a batch of these handguns. And I think he said 2023 is when they did it, but you can still find them on the market today. Now, the AS means anti-stress, and it is a double action, single action stage trigger. Now, what's nice about it is it's a non-snagging, decocking button, right? So obviously we're clear, and as you can see, it does have the paddle mag release. Now, it takes a lot of getting used to if you switch over to something like this. If you're used to just a button, this takes some time getting used to and being able to position your thumb right so it actually drops. You know, I found myself messing with this handgun and pressing here and realizing that's going to do nothing. So if you're used to a Glock or a SIG and stuff like that, you do have to get used to it. But what's nice is it is an ambidextrous mag release. So that is huge for people who are left-handed, which is about 9% of the population. So you always got to think about people who are lefties, right? And a lot of people said they wanted me to just go over some of the statistics about this handgun and stuff. This is a 4-inch barrel. The double action trigger pull, which I'll show you after. Ready? Sorry, I'm getting eaten alive. The double action trigger pull is about 9 pounds, but it's very clean, smooth, and crisp. It is a very shootable trigger, very shootable. It doesn't even feel like 9 pounds. I'd say it feels more like 7 or 8, but they do advertise it as being 9 pounds. Now, the single action is about 4.5, and I would say that's pretty accurate, right? So if you press down on it, see how it sits down there now? It sits in position just for clean, crisp, and just such a nice trigger, really nice trigger. And this thing is a shooter. And one thing I want to say is it's not optics ready, doesn't have all the goodies on it, but the thing is sick. It shoots, and it's, you know, a decent carry size, being roughly a Glock 19 size. Now, I don't carry stuff that's the size of a Glock 19. The biggest I get is like an XDM or like a Glock 30 or a Glock 29. But this can definitely be carried and be carried comfortably with the right holster. Lengthwise, it's 7.1 inches. Height-wise, it's 5.3 inches, being 15 plus 1 capacity. And width is 1.3 inches in its widest spot, which makes it a little bit wider than a Glock 26, but that's only in this section. When you come down here, it's probably about even with a Glock 26, being around 1.25 or 1.26 inches wide. Let me know if you guys want to know more statistics like that. It's simple. I can just Google it for you. But the reason I don't is because you guys can do your own research. and my reviews are more about how it functions. Numbers are numbers, and it doesn't always equate to being, I don't know how to explain it. You know, sometimes with a 4-inch barrel and stuff like that, it's different size slides, all that. So it doesn't always give you the perfect picture when I just give statistics. This thing right here, when it's unloaded, is 24 ounces, so it does have some weight to it, but this thing also really handles recoil. And like I said, we will be shooting these targets in the Walther full-length shooting review. Now, things I like about this. I never shot one of these before, and I was definitely curious about it. And I picked it up, shot it, my first mag, I'm like, yep. I looked at my buddy Hagen, I just said, yep, that's it. That's literally it. So for instance, right now it's in single action, which is a super light trigger pull. If you want to change that up, you just press on this button. That's what they mean by the anti-snag. It's not a button here. It's not a safety or anything like that. There is no safety on this. So that decocker is going to be your safety, running it with a heavier trigger pull. Now you're back in double action. So it's actually pretty cool. You literally just, whoop. I really like that. It's super cool and awesome. Now, 100% it has Walther Ergonomics. It fits your hand like a glove. Typically, regardless of hand size, now obviously if you have extra large hands or extra small hands, you're going to be the outlier. But generally speaking, if you have medium or size large hands like I have fatter fingers, stuff like that. But if you have size large hands, this thing is going to fit your hand like a glove, and that's one of the benefits. Walther always has amazing ergonomics. The other benefit is, just like the PDPs and stuff like that, when you're shooting, it always returns back to zero. There's something about the way the ergonomics are made on these Walthers that always puts you right back on target. So regardless of recoil, you're right there for a fast follow-up shot, even with that double action trigger pull being your first trigger pull, if that's how you're going to carry it. So we've shot this both single action and double action, and the thing's just amazing. It is just an absolute shooter. Now, obviously, it comes with a rail, as it should. The texturing is one thing I will say could be done differently. Sorry, guys, I'm getting eaten alive right now. The texturing is one thing that could have been done differently, in my opinion, but there still is enough there to get a good grip on it, and it's more about the ergonomics and the way it locks your hands in this little section right here. It literally locks your fingers in to feel really, really good on the handgun. The finish is definitely Walther-esque. It's flawless. It looks beautiful. It's just great. And obviously, you're going to get all the import marks on the handgun, which a lot of people don't like, but it is what it is. That's how you're allowed to get them over here, and I'm perfectly fine with them. It doesn't take away from the gun at all for me. Absolutely love this thing. It's a great handgun. Once again, though, you do have to get used to some stuff like that double action trigger pull, as well as that paddle release. It is a tack driver. It is an awesome handgun, and if you can still find one, I definitely recommend one for picking it up, as it's just a flawless handgun. I love this thing. I plan on getting a Walther here shortly. The only Walther that I own is the PPS M2, which is currently my wife's carry gun. So I definitely want to get one of these compacts or full sizes or one of the PDPs, as I think they're just absolutely unreal. And what I've been told is, even though they are compact Glock 19 size handguns, they carry like a smaller handgun simply based on how they are created and how they are made. So this right here is the P99 AS final edition. So if you're looking to get something like this is your last chance, because after they're sold out of this edition, these things are going to skyrocket in price because they're amazing. They're a legendary handgun. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Full shooting review coming soon. I'll show you one more time in slow-mo and we'll get out of here. Absolutely flawless. I love this thing. Thanks for watching, guys.